Okay, so the next one we're doing is a Pareto chart, and Pareto charts are usually used for categorical information. So this is a categorical data. And it's where you go categories and they move from highest to lowest. So just the opposite of a bar graph. So the categories are listed from highest frequency to lowest frequency. And in these Pareto charts, the bars are all touching. Or not all touching, but they're touching. Bars are touching. Okay. The frequency goes on the y-axis and the categories go on the x-axis. So x-axis is categories and y-axis is frequency. All right, so let's go grab that data that we had before about KFC and Wendy's and all that. And so here it is. We're going to use that. Oops. We're going to use that data for the same Pareto chart. All right, so here we go. We're going to do a y-axis and an x-axis. And on the x-axis we have Wendy's. Well, no, we don't want to do it in that order. Let's remember, we're going highest to lowest. So we got to go KFC. We got to go BK, Subway, Pizza Hut, and Wendy's. And now the frequency of these things go along the y-axis. So the highest one is 14.2, and our lowest one again is 8.7. Let's go by twos right now. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. All right, so KFC has to go up to 14.2. So something like this. Whoops, let's undo that. I didn't like that. BK is 12.7. And they should be the same width apart. Subway is 10. I gotta move my answers down on the bottom a little bit. Categories at the bottom. Then Pizza Hut is 9.3. And Wendy's is 8.7. So let's scoot our categories on the bottom closer to where they're supposed to be. So this is Subway, Pizza Hut, and Wendy's. And that is a Pareto chart. It always goes from largest to smallest. They touch each other, and it's categories along the x-axis, frequency or amount along the y-axis. All right, so the next thing we want to talk about is a time series. So as the name implies, this contains a time value. So the x-axis is the time, and the y-axis is the frequency. And it's a line graph. So instead of bars, we're doing a line graph. Like the frequency polygons and the ogives. And it always goes in order of time. So organize in order of time. Okay, so let's do an example. This example is sales of coffee in billions of dollars. Okay, so here's the data that we have and how it's given. So it tells me year and sales. So year 2001, there was 8.3 sales. 2002, there's 8.4. 2003, 9.0. 2004. Oops, my pen just ran out. Give me 1 second. So 2004. 2004, we had 9.6. 2005, we have 11.1. And 2006, we have 12.3. So give me a second and I'll write this down. 4, 9.6. 2005, 11.1. And 2006, 12.3. Now what we want to do is use this information like ordered pairs. So 2001 goes with the number 8.3. We don't reorganize these things. They're paired up in pairs. And so what we want to do is create an x-axis and a y-axis. The x-axis is going to be the year in this case, and the y-axis is going to be the sales. So 2001, 2002, 2003, 2004, 5, and 6. So this is year. And then over here we have sales, and we want to, it starts at 8.3 and it goes up to 12.3. So I'm going to do a little zig on this one like we did before, a zig here. I'm going to start with 8, 9, 10, 11, and I'm going to extend this to 12, okay? All right, so now let's do dots. So in 2001, we had 8.3, so that's 8.5, 8.3, right about there. 2004, or 2002, we had 8.4, so that's really close to that, a little bit higher. 2003, we had 9.0. Let's see. And then 2004, we had 9.6. 2005, we had 11.1. And then in 2006, we had 12.3. Whoops, sorry guys. Let's undo that. Okay, let's try that again. 12,006, 12.3. Having a little technology problem today. All right, now we connect these with straight lines. This is a straight line graph. Okay, those are straight line graph. And so this is our time series. And we can make predictions about our time series, or at least we can make statements about what the time series looks like. So this is, the time series is increasing over time. All right, so you're going to get asked about, explain what's happening or determine the behavior, or comment on the trend of the time series, and in this case it's increasing over time. Okay, so that's a Pareto chart that we looked at up here, and then we did a time series chart here. So those are two more charts that we can work with when we when we graph information. So the next one we're going to talk about is a pie chart and the dot chart.